recording. Ooh.
Hey everybody, it's Neil from Bite Me Flies TV. Looking at episode 2 now. I don't really have a lot of footage yet. Weather's been kind of crappy. Haven't been able to go out and actually get some, do some fishing time. I got out yesterday, got 2 little small pike. It's warming up today. It's actually in the mid 40s right now. It's kind of, I think it's finally, weather's finally broken, so it's going to be, I think, spring finally. So the pike fishing is going to crank up here in the next couple of weeks. So anyway, I got my fingers crossed that that's going to be good. I'm going to be getting footage as much as I can. I'm going to be trying to put out an episode at least once a week. At least that's the plan. Don't quote me on that though, because there'll be weeks where I'm going to get 20 fly orders and not even have a chance to even think about going out fishing. So that's the way that it is, So then there's that pesky thing called work that I do every once in a while, which kind of cuts into it too. So anyway, hopefully you guys will keep watching, and hopefully these will get better. And if you guys got any input or any questions, just freaking feel free to leave me a message or email me or just call me up. So anyway, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Okay, yeah, so the whole snow thing that we talked about, and it was going to be spring, and that it was going to warm up, and the pike fishing was going to pick up. It snowed. Again. It's driving me crazy. Yeah, here we are again, guys. Look what it's doing. It's snowing like a bastard. I know I said on the previous little clip there that it was going to be spring and it was going to be nice and it was going to be warm. Yeah, didn't happen. So, yeah. Okay, so I've got some old footage from about a year, 2, 3, 4, 10 years ago that I'm going to put on here for this week. I've got some pike fishing with my brother catching a pretty nice pike on his birthday a couple years ago. I've got some pretty good smallmouth fishing. We're in one of my older boats that I had years and years ago. Had our good friend Dan McGuire with us. We caught a whole bunch of bass that day, caught a couple of real nice largemouth, caught some really nice smallmouth, and we finally did catch a few small pike. But anyway, I'm going to run that footage. Hopefully you guys will like it. Here we go. There you go.
Oh, at least. Oh, God. It's a nice fish. You want me to get him, or do you want to get him? You film and I'll grab. I want to be ready to. Come here, buddy. Bam. Here. We gotta switch. Okay, here you go. Yeah. I don't know. Here, let me make sure I get it going. I know. Get a hold of him before and tell me when you're ready. Okay, I got him. Oh yeah, look at that, mama. Okay, set your rod down, hold him up horizontal. That's a nice fish. Good job, Mike. Oh shit, good job. Feels pretty big. Oh yeah, it's a big fish. Here, just come back up here, Mike. Just fight him right back up here on the beach. Oh, I can see him. He's a big fish. Woo! Do you think that one weighs about 8, 7 or 8? Yeah. As soon as the tail hit that beach, he's going to go pretty funky, so. Alright, Neil's got another fish on. bite Sonic, no tags. Sweet, another fish. Nice.
Anyway, yeah, no, I'm going to introduce you to a little bit of bass fishing now. This was shot a few years ago. I was down by Thompson Falls. Got a couple of nice smallmouths, a couple of nice largemouths. We ended up catching a few small pike later on that I didn't get on tape, but they were just little guys, so you guys didn't really miss out on anything. Yeah, here we go.
That's a nice. That's something fish. Nice. Hold them up, man. That's smallmouth right there. Yeah. I like that. Oh, right. Nice. Can you lift him?
No, I'm not going to go.
Leader on that? Nope. Why did I want to put a leader on it? It's fun. Look at that.
Holy crap!
And look at this. It just fell out. Yeah, it's good size fish.
I'm also going to do an intro for a titanium leader that you guys can either watch and copy, or like I said, you can get on there and you can look at it and you can give me a call and I can just build them for you. It's pretty straightforward. So anyway, hope you guys like this. Give me a call. Thanks. Bye. Hey everybody, it's Neil from Bite Me Flies TV, and yeah, we're going to show you today how to build a pike leader out of titanium material. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy to do. I'm going to get a fly here and put it in my vise so we've got something to tie to. I just got one of these built up. I got to glue that sucker pretty quick. Anyway, yeah, no, it's pretty straightforward to build these, and you can do them. It takes a little bit of practice. They're not the easiest thing in the world to do. I've found they're kind of a pain in the butt, actually. But you're going to start with, I've used fluorocarbon in the past, and fluorocarbon's great material. My only complaint with it is it's expensive, number one. Number two, lately there's been a lot of tests, out there saying that, that for a long time fluorocarbon was supposed to be, invisible in the water, and now there's a lot of companies saying, yeah, they're not invisible. With these leaders, I don't know if it really matters. I mean, a lot of the times, like I said, with a fly rod, you're using that leader more to throw the fly out than it is to hide it, primarily with pike fishing. You're looking for abrasion resistance with this stuff, and the more abrasion resistant, the better. I use Maxima hard mono a lot of times just to clear. It works really great. I use 25, 30, and 40 pound tests to make my leaders. It's just really abrasion resistant. It's really thick. It has really, really good memory. Once you warm it up and straighten it out, it'll stay perfectly straight, even in cold weather, which is kind of cool. Anyway, we're going to start with that stuff. So we're going to do 25 pound and we're going to do 30 pound. I'm going to do more 30 than 25. So I'm going to grab my leader material here, my 30, and I'm probably going to pull out, I'm guessing, like I said, probably, I don't know if you can see my hand over here, way over here. So I'm probably going to do about 3.5, 4 feet of the 30 pound test. I'm going to nip that off with my cutters here. And then I'm going to take 25 and I'm going to tie right to that with a blood knot, which is pretty straightforward. Blood knots are pretty cool in the aspect of they make a real nice straight line knot, which doesn't catch in the guides as much. And I tie mine, I was taught to tie mine both sides at the same time. You can tie it one side and then bring it back to the cross, and tie the other side, bring it back to the cross. I just do both of mine at the same time. So I basically cross them and I get them in my hands like that, and then I just twist the two middle pieces around each other, like so, 3 or 4 times. This bigger mono, you don't need more than about 4 or 5 twists. Then I take this, the right side or the left side, and go up, and I take the right side and I go down. So that you've got both of them right there, and they kind of make a nice, nice, simple, straight knot, okay? And what I normally do, obviously, you'll wet that, and when you wet that and cinch it down, it doesn't melt, and you can make a nice, straight knot. So you're going to take that and you're going to clip it off as close as you can to the knot on both sides. And that makes a nice, clean, straight knot. Can't go wrong with it. So anyway, so we're going to take our 25, and I'm probably going to do maybe 24 inches. Probably 24 inches is all I'm going to do. Same thing, I'm going to cut it off. Okay, and I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to make sure that I set the 25 here so I don't lose it, because if I do that wrong, I'm going to tie the 30 to it, and it's going to be all screwed up, and it won't roll out. Then I'm going to take some titanium material, and the stuff that I use is the Terminator, the Pro Series titanium wire. This stuff works awesome. It's not super cheap. It's fairly expensive, but you get a lot out of it. Each one you get, you probably get, I think you get 20 yards, 30 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards. Anyway, that'll last for quite a while. I mean, if you're careful. I mean, they usually make 8 to 12 inch leaders. 12 inch for bigger fish. Like if I go over to Coeur d'Alene, I'm definitely throwing 12 inch ones. If I go tiger muskie fishing, most definitely am I throwing a 12 inch leader on there, just because you're dealing with bigger fish. They're going to suck that fly down deeper. You got a lot bigger mouth to deal with, a lot more depth involved. So anyway, so I'm going to take about 12 inches of that material. I'm going to nip it off with my wire cutters. And this stuff's great stuff. I mean, I can literally take this stuff and wrap it around my finger super tight. If I did that with steel leader, I would immediately have a pigtail leader. This stuff goes perfectly straight every single time. I mean, it'll take you 30, 40, 50 fish before you get this stuff kinked. So if you're really careful, it'll last you. I mean, I've had leaders last me half a season, if not all the season. I've caught, one leader I caught 132 fish on it in a 3-day time span. And I was still using the leader for another 2 months after that. So anyway, it's great stuff. I love it to death. You can do 2 knots with it, really easily. You can do blood knots, or not blood knots, you can do Albright knots, and you can do clinch knots. So I'm going to use the Albright knot to attach it to that monofilament. So I've got that leader that we were building. I'm going to unhook that from my vise here. And I'm going to do that Albright knot. So I'm going to basically take that thing and I'm going to go right up through that loop. I'm going to pinch it and I'm going to pull some tag end out like that. And I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to wrap it back towards this hand 8 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to pinch it here so I can hold it, and I'm going to see where that leader comes down through that loop. I'm going to reverse this and go the opposite direction and go up through that loop. Just like so. I'm going to start it cinching a little bit. Obviously you want to wet it, because if you don't wet it, it's gone. You're going to melt it. Okay, so once you've got that tightened up, you'll see where the coils will tighten right back up to here, and actually pinch that mono in there and hold it. So you're going to basically do the same thing. You're going to cut your tag ends off. So you're going to cut a tag end here. That's the monofilament getting cut. And then the titanium. And you want to make sure that when you touch your titanium on here, my experience with this stuff has been, you want to cut that as close as you can, but you want to be careful because you can bend the whole leader, the whole section of that titanium there. It will, just the pressure will take it. So what I normally do is I get that wire cutter as close as I can, put my finger over the tag end so I don't have to pressure it as much, and nip it off. That way it doesn't bend that leader, it's perfectly straight. Okay, so all I got to do now is snug it a little bit, straighten out my leader, and it makes a nice, clean, straight little knot. That thing will slide through guides if it has to. It's really nice and smooth. It doesn't, it doesn't show off. You can't see it. Fish can't see it. I mean, you can see this thing. It's really, I'm holding it right up to the camera. If I go back just a little bit, it starts to disappear in the background. You can't see the stuff. It's great because I can turn around and catch smallmouth bass. I can catch largemouth bass. Trout will hit these flies. Obviously pike will hit them. If you were fishing, especially like in saltwater for striped bass, if you could use that, you'd also be catching bluefish. Bluefish wouldn't bite you off as many flies. You could get away with that. Anyway, I'm going to take a Dualock snap, and these little Dualocks you can buy them from 500, 600, 700 different companies. They're pretty straightforward. Okay, and what I do is I modify them a little bit on the back side of that swivel. There's like a curl, and they usually just curl it around. They don't close it. I take a smaller pair of pliers and I always close it, just because I don't want this thing to tangle up, number one, and two, that adds a little strength to it. So now it's closed up. You can see that piece is closed up, and it won't let the wire slide past it. So I'm going to take this deal and I'm going to basically unhook it and hook it to my fly here so you can kind of see the knot that I'm doing. And it just helps me hold it. So I've got that there hanging in there. I'm going to go through the bottom of the swivel, about an inch or so of material through that swivel. Then I'm going to go around 3 times to 4 times, depending on what I can get done here with the amount of wire I've got. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, okay? And I'm going to go back through the original knot. So it's just a basic clinch knot, okay? I'm going to take a pair of pliers, and I'm going to grab the tag end, and I'm going to just snug it, just like so, okay? So that way you've got it on there, and you'll have that extra tag end sticking up. You'll see that. And what I normally do is I will cut that with about maybe a 30-second of material still sticking through. So I'm going to just nip that off like so. So you can see where it's standing up there, and I'll hold it up to the camera a little bit closer. You can see where that is just a little bit of tag end sticking out like that. See it there in the middle of the snap. And the reason why I do that is because if you leave that, it won't come untangled. If you don't leave that, it's basically going to come untangled. 3 or 4 casts for a big fish is going to shake that sucker off, and it's going to come undone, and this is going to go bye-bye. So we don't want that to happen. We want that to stay perfectly straight. We want it to come back. We want that to basically be there. The only thing you ever have to worry about is if you get this loose and you end up grabbing up close to the fly, that can cut you pretty good, so be careful. Anyway, that's the basic build. You basically have your titanium section there. You have your 25-pound test here, which is about maybe 24 inches. You have almost 4 feet of 30-pound test, and you can take that and put a perfection loop on the end of that. You can also just tie it with another blood knot, which is what I normally do. I'll just take that and tie that blood knot it right to my butt section. So anyway, there's how you build a titanium leader. Hope that helps you guys out. If you think that's a pain in the butt, don't worry about it. Just give me a call, and I can build all the ones you need. So anyway, thanks for watching. This is Neil at Bite Me Flies TV. You guys have a great day.